There are five distinct wealth levels Canadian retirees actually live at. Most people never make it past level 2. And the ones who do often have no idea how far ahead of most Canadians they actually are. That gap isn't just a number in a bank account. It's grocery habits, vacation plans, whether a repair bill causes a bad night's sleep or barely registers at all. Today, we're walking through all five, one at a time, so you can see exactly where you land and whether you're further along than you've been giving yourself credit for. Level 1. A cart moves slowly down a no-frills aisle. Every item goes in after a glance at the shelf tag, not the brand. This tier usually means somewhere between $22,000 and $28,000 a year, mostly from OAS and GIS. There's no vacation this year. There wasn't one last year either. A transit pass instead of a car because the insurance alone would eat a week of groceries. The bills get paid in a specific order every month, and there's a running mental tally of what's left over after rent or the mortgage, utilities, and the pharmacy. Nothing about this tier is careless. If anything, it's the most carefully managed budget on this entire list. There's just very little room in it. The stress here is real, and it's constant. The kind that shows up as trouble sleeping, not just trouble budgeting. Family gatherings sometimes get skipped, not because the invitation wasn't wanted, but because gas money or a gift adds up in a way that's hard to explain to people who aren't living it. This is a harder tier to live in than any of the others on this list, and it deserves to be said plainly rather than glossed over. If this tier describes you, stay until the end, because I have something that can really help you. Level 2. A kitchen table, a PC Optimum app open on a phone next to a grocery flyer. This tier usually sits between $28,000 and $45,000 a year, CPP and OAS together, sometimes with a small amount of savings drawn down carefully. The house got downsized a few years back, and that decision is doing real work now. No mortgage, lower property tax, one less thing to worry about every month. There's a road trip once a year, somewhere within driving distance. Groceries still get compared flyer to flyer, but not out of desperation, more out of habit built over decades, the kind of habit that sticks around long after the original reason for it fades. Dining out happens, just not often, and usually with a coupon in hand or on a birthday. The car in the driveway is older, paid off, and gets maintained rather than replaced. Family gatherings happen without much hesitation. A contribution to the potluck, a modest gift, nothing that requires much planning beforehand. This is the tier a lot of Canadian retirees actually live in. If any of this sounds familiar, you're in good company. It's not the tier people picture when they imagine retirement in the abstract, but it's the one a meaningful share of real Canadian retirees are actually living in right now, and living reasonably well. Level 3. A driveway with two cars in it. One of them a few years old, but well maintained. Somewhere in the neighborhood of $45,000 to $70,000 a year. Usually CPP and OAS, plus a modest workplace pension or some RRIF income. Here's where something shifts. Groceries still get bought with some awareness of price, but the tight, constant calculation from the earlier tiers eases up. A vacation happens most years. Nothing extravagant, but real. A week somewhere warm in the winter, or a trip to see family that doesn't require months of saving up first. Dinner out isn't a special occasion anymore. Just a Tuesday. Home maintenance gets handled without agonizing over the invoice. A new furnace, a roof repair, the kind of expense that would have caused real anxiety 2 tiers back barely registers here. This is the tier where a lot of the financial anxiety that defines the earlier 2 tiers genuinely starts to lift. It's not lavish, it works. There's still a budget, still some awareness of spending, but the underlying feeling changes from, can I afford this, to, should I bother? Which one have you recognized yourself in so far? Drop it in the comments. Genuinely curious where people are landing. Hit like if any of these scenes hit closer to home than you expected. Level 4. An airport departure lounge. A flight to somewhere warm booked for the 3rd winter in a row. This tier usually lands between $70,000 and $120,000 a year, often built on a defined benefit pension alongside CPP and OAS. A cottage, used most weekends through the summer, maybe passed down or bought outright years ago. Snowbird season isn't a fantasy here. It's a calendar entry. Flights booked in the fall, a place down south already secured. The grandkids' activities get supported without much thought. Hockey registration, a birthday gift that's more than symbolic. Help with a first car. Money still gets thought about, but the thinking is about optimizing, not surviving. Which fund to draw from first? Whether this is the year to help an adult child with a down payment, not whether there'll be enough for groceries this month. Home renovations happen because they're wanted, not because something finally broke down completely. This tier still involves real financial thought, but the thinking has shifted from scarcity to strategy, a genuinely different mental experience than any of the tiers before it. Level 5, a wine cellar, a travel montage that spans continents rather than provinces. This is the top of the ladder, the tier built on significant investment portfolios, business ownership, or executive-level pensions layered on top of everything else. Multiple properties sometimes come into the picture here, a primary home, a place somewhere warmer, maybe a cottage as well. Philanthropic giving becomes part of the financial picture in a way it rarely is at earlier tiers, not out of obligation, but because there's genuinely more than what's needed. According to a CPP investment survey, 59% of Canadians don't believe they'll ever reach a retirement at this level. This isn't the tier to chase. It's simply where a small number of people land, often after decades of a very specific set of circumstances, a business that succeeded, an inheritance, a career with unusually strong compensation. It's not a verdict on anyone who isn't here. So, which one are you, really? And which one do you want to be in 5 years? None of these 5 tiers is a judgment on anyone's life or choices. Some of it comes down to decisions made decades ago. A lot of it comes down to circumstances nobody chose at all. Health, timing, a job that offered a pension and one that didn't, a marriage that split assets in half, a business that either took off or didn't. Wherever you landed on this list, that's simply where you are right now, not a verdict on where you'll stay. If Tier 1 or Tier 2 described your situation more than you'd like, the good news is there's real, concrete action available, programs, timing decisions, and moves that can shift where you land. And we've covered exactly what those look like on this channel before. Check out our latest video if you are interested. Subscribe to The Wealth Beaver so you don't miss it.